Hello everyone, welcome to TechE Launch. This is series of tutorial for Java. So in this section we are going to see about constructors. So I request the viewers to pay close attention to this because oftentimes for beginners this seems to be very much confusing. So what is a constructor? I'll just show you with an example. I have a class here. I have my main method. So right now if I run this main method, it is running without any problem. The program starts from this main method and step by step whatever the lines of codes written here, it will be executed. So what if I wanted to create an instance of the class, rather I call it as a copy of a class and store it in a particular variable so that I can access the class variables or class methods later whenever I need. So for that purpose objects are required. So to create an object, constructors are required. So what I mean by creating an object? So object creation is nothing but I have my class. Understand people, everything in Java is classes and objects. I have my class here and I can give my custom name as a object name. Let's say it's P1. So when I say this, only the object is created, it is not initialized. So what is the basic syntax of object initialization? That is, it is class name space object name is equal to new is a keyword in Java which is used to create a object. New basically does is that it allocates memory to particular copy of a class that we are going to create. And again, class name space object name is equal to new constructor name. Constructor name is always similar to class name. So again, we say it's class name. Open and close brackets. So this is the basic syntax. So in our example, so if we wanted to create an object, we'll say print args p1 is equal to new print args. So basically what this line of code is going to do is like we have created an object for this class print args and we have initialized the object through this new operator by calling the constructor of this particular class. So you might be wondering, where is this particular constructor defined? We haven't defined any constructor, but in Java, even though if we don't define any constructor, default constructor will be called. Default constructor looks something like this. If we explicitly define, then it's our own constructor, but default constructor will be something like this. An access modifier like public private and class name which is similar as a constructor name. Open and close brackets and open and close parentheses. So this is the basic syntax of our constructor. So understand people, whenever this particular line of code is executed, what our program Java will do, it will directly come to this point, and from this point whatever line of codes inside this open and close parentheses will be executed. We'll be coming to that point little later. So using this method, whatever custom, using this object p1, we can call whatever custom variables or methods that we are going to create through this variable p1. For example, just show you a small example through this. Whatever variable I've created inside this main function is called local variable. It is local to this main method. Whatever variable I'm going to create is here is called class variable. It is common to this entire class. Let's say int c1 is equal to 5. So I've created a class variable here. So I can access this variable through this particular object, like object name is p1 dot c1. So I'll just it is asking me to initialize a variable to store the particular value that we just called. I'll say int class number is equal to p1.c1. So what this particular line of code will do is like this object will call this particular class variable. The value of this class variable is 5 here. So it will assign to this class. Now we'll just try to print out this class number now. So this particular line of code will print the value whatever we assign here, that is 5. Note that this value can be accessed through only object, since we didn't declare it static. I'll just come to what is static in later in our course. Understand that this can be accessed only through this. Just run the program. As you can see, our string is printed, our addition operation, and its output is printed 9, and whatever the value we called here, it is also printed. So understand people, whenever this particular line is called, only the constructor is called, and whatever line of code is executed within this brackets, that is executed first. Later only this line of code is executed. I will just show a demo with example. I'll just have a print statement here. String inside the constructor. So what this particular line of thing will do is, first this statement is printed. Later on we do some addition operations here. Later that result is printed here. Later the constructor is called, it will come here, this statement will be printed, and later on we are calling the variable c1 value here, and that will be assigned to this class number. Later on the class number will be printed. So this string, this 9, and this particular string, after that the value 5 will be printed. Let's run this program. As you can see, first the string is printed. Later our addition operation, that result is printed. Later we call the constructor here. The constructor is called, whatever the statement inside the constructor is executed, and later it will come to this particular line and the operations are performed. Later that value is printed here, so that is printed. So this is the overall basic idea of constructor. Initially it might seem confusing. Later on we'll see more examples so that the concepts of constructor and everything is clear. Hope you find this tutorial useful. So if you like, click on the like button. If you have any feedback, suggest as comments. So if you like it, please share to your friends and subscribe to the channel TechE Launch. Thank you.